Welcome back. Today I'm going to make some shaker eggs, or one at least. I'm going to make it out of some mountain ash that I have chucked up in my lathe here. And I'm going to fill it up with, I'm not sure yet, probably peppercorns, because that's what I've got. Or I've got some dried beans. I want to see what different sounds I can get out of it. But we'll take a look and see how it turns out. Alright, here we go. I've got my piece of mountain ash all chucked up. It's otherwise known in Europe as rowan wood, rowan tree. But here in North America, for some reason, we call it mountain ash. It's not a true ash tree. I mean, like a white ash. It's a different family as far as I know. But anyway, you can do the research on that. What I want to do, I've got some checking at this end, which appears to only go about this far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round this off and part it at about this point here, and I'm going to make a tenon and turn it around, and then we'll work it from there. I'm going to start with my roughing gouge, and yeah. See how we can work that out here. Okay, almost down around. Just got this little bit of flat area left.
Get my chuck in there. Snug it. All snugged up, ready to go. There we go. Get my tenon in there. Nice and snug. That's it. A squeeze. Nice and snug in there. See what's happening. Slide past there anyway. Just gonna clean that up a little bit.
Now here's the plan. This is going to be a shaker egg. I think that's a little bit big for what I'm doing. It's going to be a little smaller than that. Let's say about that big. So this is going to be about that big. So what I need to do is I need to cut a tenon on the bottom here. I need to part this in two, and I want to make sure I make a nice clean thin cut there so that I don't waste too much wood, so that all my grains can line up the way I want them to. And yeah, then what I'll do, once I've parted this off, is I'll just put this to the side. I'll gouge out for the inside of the egg here, and I'll make a little lip for the or a mortise, well, a lip I guess, for the tenon on this side to go into. Once I get this completed and parted off, then I'll flip it around and I'll put this piece in the chuck, turn it, and then put it together, and everything will be wonderful. Now what I want to do is I want to mark where my halfway point is. I'm thinking roughly here will do it. So I'm just going to mark a line using my skew chisel. And that's where I want that to part. Okay, now I've brought you back around to the front of the lathe. See my tool rest here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my tailstock out of the way. Stuck. Okay. Move this out of the way as well. I have this little cheap saw that I'm going to use to cut this, but in order to do that, I'm going to have to be on the other side. Now, don't try this at home, kids. There. Now it's pretty much wide open to me what I do here. First thing I want to do is I'm going to dig out the inside first, and then I'm going to shape the egg around that. That way I can maintain a good good wall thickness. I think it's easier that way. I don't know, for me it's easier. Might be easier for somebody else to do the egg first, but I think while I still have all the wood here, I'll do the inside first. I don't know. I'm going to fire this up and let's make a depression here. Yeah, I think that's deep enough. Maybe I'll go a little touch deeper. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, now I want to make myself a little bit of a lip on here for the other one to insert into, and I'll use my skew chisel for that. I want to get two things. I want to get a good seal on there, and I want to make sure that the grains line up, and I want it strong enough. So that should be good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to my gouge and start doing the body of this. Alright, there we go. Now, like I say, I'm going to work on the body out here. And my depth looks like it's about that deep, so I'm just going to work it until I get to a point where I have enough of a nub there to hold on and I can sand it down a little bit. I don't really have to worry about it too much because this is going to be turned around and put on snugly enough that I should be able to sand it down when everything is put together. That's going to be lovely. Okay. Now, it looks to be a little bit thick in this area in here. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit. It's quite pointy. Got to be very, very careful here because I don't want to come through at that point. And it's looking pretty good so far, and the last thing I want to do is screw it up. So here's what I'm going to do. You know, I think I'm actually just going to part that off there. I think I have enough where I'm not going to take that out. I hope. We'll find out here. Fancy screwdriver parting tool. There we go, there's the inside. That's looking lovely. Here's the outside, and that's going to get cleaned up once I turn this around and put it on the other piece. Now, the first thing I want to do is cut my tenon on here so that this slips in flawlessly. You can There we go. Nice. Nice and snug. Beautiful little fit there. This is going to be a shallower impression so that I have enough room to part that off. Okay. Go. Looks like enough. So the bottom of it is about here, so just about where the line is. That'll give me plenty of room to move around in there. Before I go any further, what I want to do is I want to get this on here. I want to get that end sanded. I'm going to get some tape and tape it on there. Now this isn't going to be going through any rigorous cutting or anything like that, so I'm just going to use some regular masking tape. I just want to keep it in place. I'm going to wrap it around this way so that when I cut off the tape, as the wheel spins, it's not going to get lifted up by the wind as the wheel spins. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit with the gouge, and then I can get take this off for the time being. I think. There we go. And finish the body on this half. Alright, my tool rest back in place. And like I say, the bottom of the depression here seems to be right at that green line, so that's kind of where I'm going to work myself up to. Just going to clean that up just a little more in here. It's just a little thick. It's looking good. Now what I want to do is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, put my peppercorns in, and glue it before I do any of the sanding and everything else. So let me do that. Well, actually I'll do that right on camera here. Okay, here we go. I've got a handful of peppercorns here that I used some peppercorns in a baby rattle that I made. Let's just take a look and see. Now the sound's going to be muted because the it's still attached to the chuck and everything. I just want to see if it's going to... Oh, it's not bad. A little soft though. Anyway, I'm going to try something different. I've also got some peas here. 2 seconds. Let's see what the peas sound like. I'll try. What do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what looks to be a watermelon seed. 7. 7 peas and a watermelon seed. Let's see what that sounds like. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's got a much better rattle to it. Okay, so that's what it's going to be. Well, I'll put a couple more in. Call it 10. 10 peas and a watermelon seed. There. I'll put that in there. Now I'm going to, here, let me move this up a little bit. Alright, so I've got my peas and watermelon seed in there. Now I'm going to line up my grain. There we go. Just like that. And get some glue on there. Couldn't find a toothpick, but it's lever will work. Just going to take some glue and go around the edge. Now, squeeze that on. I'll squeeze that in. Try and close all the gaps. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for about 15-20 minutes, maybe a little more. Then I'm going to sand it down and part it off. Well, sand it down, finish it, then part it off, and then I'll finish the bottom end too. Okay, there we go. It's been about 45 minutes now, and I'm pretty sure the glue is dry enough. So I'm going to start with some 120 grit, and I'm going to work my way up to maybe 400, 600. I don't know. I may not go that high. Depends on how it looks. There we go. Got it sanded up to 600. As you can see, I tried a little friction burning where the joint was, but it was a little overzealous, I guess you could say. But anyway, still gonna sound good, I think. What I gotta do now is I'll part it off. I plan on finishing it with polyurethane, so I'm not putting anything on it right now. I'll wait until I have a batch of things that I want to use the polyurethane on before I open up the jar again, so I don't end up making it into a solid mass of plastic. Anyway, I'll part this off and show you the finished product, or the semi-finished product, you know. Alright, so I want this to have a fairly flat bottom so I can set it down on a table or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. I just have to sand that little nub off. Slice it off with a knife or whatever. Ooh, nice. Works pretty good. There we go. Now I'm my own percussion section. Percussion section. Percussion section. Percussion section. There we go. Shaker egg. It's like a rattle for adults.